If you're considering installing a single-ply roof system on your facility, we've got some real good information we'd like to share with you about the pros and cons of that type of a roof system. My name is Skip Kline. I'm a technical sales representative for West Roofing Systems. I've been with this company for over 34 years. It's a great company to work for. And my tenure here has included several years in the field actually installing commercial roofing systems, and then moving into sales in 1990 actually, and promoting different roofing systems that we install in all the different markets, industrial, heavy industrial, steel mills, hospitals, schools, universities, commercial buildings, and multifamily residential buildings. When selecting a roof, you want to be informed not only about the positives but also the negatives of those particular products, and this information should help you make the best decision for your specific needs. A single-ply roof is basically a sheet of material that is manufactured in a plant, and that sheet good is made out of one of several different types of chemical makeup, as well as having different thicknesses for different uses on the roof. Typically, the membranes are manufactured out of materials that are either rubber-based or plastic-based. That being EPDM would be a type of synthetic rubber, and then you have your TPO, your TPA, and PVC membrane systems, which are made of plastic. Thicknesses vary from 45 mils in thickness to over 100 mils in thickness, and again, the thickness of the material would be based on the use of the roof, whether or not there's a lot of traffic on the roof system, or if it's basically something that would maybe cover a big box store that doesn't have any equipment that would need to be maintained or would require continued traffic on the roof surface. So prior to jumping into an investment in this type of a roof system, maybe knowing some of the advantages and disadvantages of that system would be beneficial. Some of the advantages of single-ply roofing included, it has a very proven track record. It's been out there working in different environments, in our geographical area and also everywhere around the world for over 60 years. They've been proven, they've been tested, and they have a definite track record that supports their ability to work pretty much anywhere that they're installed. Membrane roofs are lightweight and flexible. They can even be installed without some expansion considerations based on the flexibility of those membranes. I've seen roof systems that in re-roofing applications where expansion joints and things of that nature were actually eliminated from the roof assembly because of the membrane's ability to stretch and to work differently than materials that are less flexible. Another advantage of membrane roofs would be their ease of installation. Installing the membrane roof systems is relatively simple. There are basically three ways in which they are installed, and whether or not they're insulated or if they have a cover board, etc. And these three basic ways are to ballast them in place, to mechanically fasten them, or to fully adhere them. A ballasted roof assembly is one where the insulation, whether flat or tapered, is installed over the roof deck, and then the membrane is loose laid or just basically placed over the insulation material, and then a ballast material is placed on top of all of that to hold that roof system in place. That ballast material can be river rock material or other gravel-based material, and there are also large pavers, concrete pavers, that can be placed on these roofs, office-type buildings, etc. Mechanically fastening a roof system is when that insulation material is placed, it is fastened in place, and then the membrane again is loose laid, but then fastened in either the seams or in other manners with a mechanical fastener, such as a screw with a steel plate. And then finally would be the fully adhered roof system. The membrane itself is then adhered with a bonding agent of some sort, such as a typical glue material or even a polyurethane foam material, so that that membrane, when finished, that roof assembly when finished, is completely bonded 100% to the roof deck. And cost is something that is relative to each of those. Insulation is used primarily in roofing to slow the transfer of energy either out of the building or into the building. There are a number of different types of insulation that can be used in a roofing assembly, and for many different reasons. There are laminated materials, there are extruded materials. They're the most typically used. These materials are lightweight, and they can be manufactured with taper. So the roofing system is actually engineered with slope in it to, again, get the water off the building quickly so that they basically last longer. When choosing a membrane roof, you also want to consider whether or not you want that roof to have either reflective or retentive properties associated with it. For instance, EPDM roofing materials are typically manufactured in black color, and they would be a consideration when you want the environmental heat from the sun to be transferred into the structure, as opposed to, say, a TPO membrane roof system that would be manufactured in either white or a light gray color that would be more reflective. And again, you would want to put that type of an assembly down when you want to reflect the sun's rays and probably try to keep the interior space cooler than warmer. There are many great attributes to membrane roofing systems, but we're also here to talk about some of the disadvantages of these systems as well. Membrane roof systems can be easily punctured. Single-ply roofing materials do not have a hard surface layer, so they can be punctured from things like dropping tools or walking on either debris or fasteners or screws from mechanical equipment that have been left on the roof surface. Things like this can cause punctures to these roofs. Storms can blow debris from trees or other buildings onto and across membrane roofs, and when this happens, typically large cuts or gouges can be a result, which again result in serious leaking. Working around roof accessories in commercial roofing systems is also something that needs to be considered and can be a negative if there are a incredibly large number of things that either are placed on the roof surface or are actually protrude through the roof surface. These things can be air conditioning units, skylights, air vents, plumbing vents, and other things, weather monitoring equipment or other type of monitoring equipment, lighting, signage, things like this. All are part of the things that a roofing contractor need to consider when developing the cost for the roof, and the more stuff there is to work around, the higher the cost will be. One of the disadvantages to membrane roofs are the fact that they are basically seamed together, and everywhere that material is either welded or seamed or glued together is a potential and makes them vulnerable to leaking. Even though they're sealed, there's still areas, these are still areas that are more vulnerable where the membrane, performs in the field of the roof. Everyone, I think, could agree that if we could manufacture a complete roof membrane in a factory somewhere, bring it out, lay it out on the roof, and not have to, do any seam work or assemble that roofing system on the site, it would be significantly better. But that's not practical. These roof systems are basically made in pieces and parts. There are rolls of the membrane material, and then there are rolls of the accessories, and then things like corners and boots and pitch pockets and other components are basically all put together and seamed together throughout the roof system. And again, if you don't have the qualified people to do the work, all these locations can be potential points of leaks, not necessarily initially, but usually within several years of the original installation, you'll begin to have problems. Ultimately, we want to make sure that you make the right decision and hire the right contractor to install your roof the first time. Visit our website at westroofingsystems.com to read our full article and download a copy of your essential guide to single-ply membrane roofing for all the information you need to know about single-ply and other membrane roof systems. Thank you for watching.